Hey there, it's Beth. YouTube Pagan Challenge question number 16. What spiritual practice do you use most often? Awareness, presence, being in now. I think that is probably my most used spiritual practice. Being in the now, not living in the future, not living in the past, being right now as best as I can be. It's probably my most common spiritual practice in my life. It just makes life easier. Saves you a lot of energy not reliving old past problems or potential future issues. Done both of those a lot. It takes a lot of energy. I stopped doing that so much because I'm human. People are human. People do that. I think it's just kind of part of human nature for a lot of people to relive or to pre-live situations. And so awareness and presence and being in the now, probably number one spiritual practice for me. Meditation, breath work, yoga, all play into there. Been doing yoga for back when Yoga Journal would ask you to put a stamp on your little subscription to save them money. And all the pictures were like in black and white, and they'd have these weird like yoga things on the wall that kind of look like something from the Marquis de Sade. But yoga has been a definitely spiritual practice for me for a very, very long time, and still remains a powerful spiritual practice for me. Meditation, I do regular mindfulness. Yeah, it's all the stuff I do the most is the most basic stuff, because the most basic stuff is the most powerful stuff to let you do what you want to do when you do something big. For me, at least, that's how I feel. Grounding's another one. Always grounding, because I'm a little flutterfly. I will flit away. My mind makes leaps that no one else gets, and I have to explain them to people sometimes. Yeah. But you just, I don't know what to say on this one, because everything that I do on a regular basis, I mean, most often, is very much like practice presence and being in the now, grounding, things like yoga. Yeah, breath work, meditation. I do like chanting. Do much more Kundalini yoga now than I do proper asana, such as like warrior, down dog, all that kind of stuff. Really, it's all the stuff that's grounded in what you need to have a good space to do things like magic with a K, cast spells, and have them turn out the way you want. And feed their intention and keep them going over long terms if need be. It's that stuff that lets you kind of be that tabula rasa when you go into a reading and not bring your shit and your intent into someone else's reading, into someone else's life, to try and be as clear as possible and open as possible to what is being told and spoken to you and coming through you. It's all those really basic 101 stuff. Because that basic 101 stuff is extremely powerful when you use it and make it part of your life. Yeah, I'm reading Hands-on Chaos Magic by Andrea Vitamus, or however you say his Andrea. I don't know how you say his first name. But Vitamus, Mr. Vitamus, we'll call him. And it's like this huge. Hold on. Here you go. It's this book. But he ends with, what does he end with? It's like towards the end you get advanced practicum on entity creation. chapter 1, there's like, this book packs a lot in here. Chapter 1 is stress release. Chapter 2, deep breathing. So it's, that's where your base starts, is in the things you do the most. Because it's the little things, or at least as I see, because really, it's not the big stuff that you should be doing all the time. It's the tiny, tiny stuff, like breath work, awareness, bringing all that in, as opposed to, journey work and stuff like that. As the more you practice those basic grounding things, the easier it is to, like, if you work with guides, angels, or whatever, the easier it is to filter that out from just what goes through your brain on a daily basis and identify what you need to know as compared to what is just whatever going through your brain, instead of the song you like stuck in your head compared to the song that's speaking to you stuck in your head. I get both. It's how I am. I almost always have a song rolling through my head, and sometimes I've had 2 or 3 songs playing at the same time in my head. That is highly annoying. But it's awareness, presence, breath, meditation, all the really, really boring stuff, all the really, really mundane stuff that I do on a daily basis, on a regular basis. Not the fancy stuff. So, and I think if you are getting into magic because you want to do the fancy stuff without doing the base work, good luck, because that makes it harder. And you get some rougher lessons, I think, too, when you jump in in the deep pool. And then it's kind of sink or swim, as opposed to building up ways of grounding, ways of bringing in energy, ways of ridding yourself of energy. It's like if you bite off more than you chew, it can impact your life. You can have things that you don't really want happen because you decided you knew enough. And I'm still practicing. There's still things that I would sincerely think at least 20 times about doing before I did it and make sure that I was ready to do it. It's like working with fairy. People tend to think of the Victorian fairies, which are all fine and dandy. But they, I remember someone in a group commenting, it's like, oh, I didn't know that fairies could be mean or malicious. I'm like, what the? It's because some of them, even the one, they may not be mean, they may not be malicious, but if they think you need the lesson, they'll dump the lesson on you, and they have no problem dumping the lesson on you. And depending on why they're dumping the lesson on you, they may let you sink or swim if you really piss them off, or have annoyed them to that extent. So it's that kind of stuff. You have that base in the basics, you tend not to get the dumped on. You get an easier lesson because you're paying attention. And the more you pay attention to things that are magical, the more they are kinder to you, I think. But what I do on a daily basis is really mostly the boring stuff that needs to be done. And some days you don't feel like meditating. Some days you don't feel like doing this, but you do it anyways. It's like brushing your teeth and basic hygiene for, it's like basically that's what it is. It's energetic hygiene. Magical hygiene is what that kind of stuff is. That's why this big book, which actually, what I've read of it so far, very enjoying this book. So I do, so far at this point in time, recommend this book. There's a lot packed into 300 some odd pages. And he starts with the basics. And he suggests you practice these basics, and you keep practicing these basics, because that's where it's at. Okay, that is it for what spiritual practice do you do most often? It's all the basic stuff that helps you do all the really cool stuff. That's what I do the most. Presence, breath work, meditation, grounding, that kind of stuff. That's what I do the most. Alrighty. Everyone have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.